Questions about the staff rationalization ongoing at the ministry. But if you are a minister and you take over a ministry that has 3,117 staff in the ministry and its agencies, and you realize that almost 600 of them were recruited after December 7. Basically, you cannot expect me to come and inherit such mess and continue with it. And so the rationalization is ongoing. Today, I have authorized the termination of a few more at Ghana Post, almost 100, that were done post December 7. And we'll continue this rationalization. I will clean up the ministry, make sure it is lean and efficient, and carries out its work.
Oh, Daddy. Oh, Madama, ya befi ya tutunyo makaka ya home wadama say ya sumu nti osumu na enfrema ne bossa na o say penfoso ne ma hwegu a no ato bo na wahunu crash nti ya ne ma sichem hallelujah wadama.
But I think, I mean, the first question really, and it's after elections, no, who said more loose, no, who employing Kofobi Ghana Post,
oh, Debbie, and Tessa, what was Obi, MC Free and Ra, my phone said the album, no, and yeah, the kitra from all quarters, will be a friend. I was said, ye Timmy who said the recruitment, and I say, because Ghana Post company na hono and the processes rigid kakra because of the regional presence and an institutional structure na we are managing director untimi ngasa me managing director nti asomasi be share adwuma asichina. Ghana Post were a very, very vibrant union.
Okay.
They take keen interest in recruitment.
Okay.
And to we are managing director, untimi sorry keke say oh yeah recruitment there be. Two, organization, you know, because a nationwide spread nationwide into obey recruitment bia I was so making sure say usika semye.
Okay.
Because Ghana Post say abayin nyumaku na omoda controller and accountant general and also omoda consolidated fund and bibisa so. Enti one obefendi pa in your budgeting for the year ahead. Obey projection. Now what so be a nipa 53 ebeko retirement in the year ahead
2025.
Now almost skill set na any programs our person we implement in the next year na me here nipa be 53 be replace your na bia ana say oh yente so yesika semunti yente so ne yemfa nipa be 4 ana say enti obey sad we am board I approve am enti recruitment nakasa processes so I shall say from shortlisting of applications that have been received.
Okay.
And sana what panel are your interviews? We interviews we are interview reports beba up to the level beba from HR from the regions no beba to HR. HR betra so amana call DMD no approve about MD who na MD ama final approval. All these processes a bedi not less than a week.
Okay.
These are procedures that you go through. And sana Ghana Post are informal. Oh now I go through this shortlist now I go interview every say oh yeah who say yeah what pass it into your befoul and go through medical examination and bring your results now into me appointment letter. Indeed processes are these are recruitments that the processes began, some in August, some in September, because
September 2024.
And these are processes are a course way before. It has no relationship with elections. Because say Ghana Post, even though a buying 100% shareholder, a company limited.
Yes.
Into the board.
Yes.
A director, and the board was still at post until 7th January. Boards were dissolved. Board were still at post because the budget for the year had already been planned. That board
and recruitment
recruitment has been ongoing. Yes, indeed. Ebinum enam processes in bureaucracies of civil service, bureaucracies of public service. Company, company yentino. Ebinum appointment letters. Eba late. Ebi nyaomo die 5th December. Ebi nyaomo die 9th December. But that does not say after a 2 abano picture na sebe eya beton kofo adwemu yet say ye 2 about December 7th and I'm say na mo asante achim ye 2 about December 7th my man cry am say until 8th December and I'm a bank cry it me bank cry na be to December 7th 2 days twemu it me bedroom cry I think bedroom cry actually on the 10th of December. Na time bena me be ye and a recruitment even has managing director HR process. HR na a money date for interview or no and the money date among choir medicals or no and these are structures company are operating over years. Impression na sebe eya babe todwa te se Ghana Post ye to abano wie ya na edimrika na kofa nipa 100 enya no kre last year batch election recruitment a course in the latter part of the year 2024 in total it was 72 no mienu kra didn't like even though appointments they didn't take post they didn't report and in effect it's about a total of 70 people no cry no. Originally when we took our applications we took 32 and on board there's been communications with board that every year Ghana Post casual staff we gradually integrate them into the system money post office obi ho our year adwuma 4 years now that's a casual staff no difference between omo na company no actual payroll minimum region corner where casual staff
IGF
region no etwa omo enti omo regions no year recommendation some casual staff we said they were born home no me semo wadaswa for year adwuma 4 years on the year we critical enti assess na management here. Okay, near interview no so you recruit no. Sa nipa 70 you recruit in the last recruitment. Move 40 out of that list. Staffer no mo ye adwuma Ghana Post dada. Just that they are not on the casual staff. Full time. It told me a nipa juma for Obinum. I was checking one of them, Usubakubi. He had worked with Ghana Post for 5 years. Or started actually
outside
there be empty, and all this information is known by Ghana Post Union because Ghana Post will be recruitment a union with interest because every company no me fan say yesikasem and sometimes Sebi may take you over in 2022. Now recruitment was a big deal. Person for Nipa 20 cry was a problem because of said the near 6 but a jumana no apeja innovations kakra be mo ma say post office will be there that say amoke kanaba so first circle post office staff are now so no mo ye 12 and they 30 because a jumana eba no e bro so a jumana ba was so offend pa okwa adum say a dum post office e mo and I do 8:30 kra na nipa that's which na wa omo ye adwuma you need to even run a shift system misusu senka opportunity abaya saying bear in mind say NDC are buying campaign from here say 24 hours is one something they are going to do no. Well, I was of the view say some post offices come immediately by end 24 hours afeni pani bi account because problem a war recruitment unisika would be but that is not the case. It is not the case for post office because almost started December. December. Post office ni problem. January. Only problem. February. March say
it issue of
it is not
budget.
It has say position be ba say buying the position ne say companies be or what frankly speaking ebia 7th January no ya to aban we no dimrika ekosese interview enye san post office here
when you hear this story, the Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovations, Samuel Nate George, has announced the termination of nearly 100 staff members at Ghana Post, citing irregularities in their recruitment process. He said the decision is part of an ongoing rationalization effort aimed at streamlining operations within the ministry and its agencies. Speaking to the press on Tuesday, the minister explained the challenges he faced upon assuming office, including an inflated workforce. There is a quote, if you are a minister and you take over a ministry that has 3,117 staff in the ministry and its agencies, and 600 were recruited after December 7th. You cannot expect me to come and inherit such a mess. And so the rationalization is ongoing, unquote, he said. Sam George revealed that the latest terminations targeted staff recruited after the December 7th elections, a period he described as problematic for proper hiring practices. Quote, today, I have authorized a termination of a few more at Ghana Post, almost 100 that were done post-election, unquote. He added, the minister emphasized his commitment to ensuring efficiency and accountability within the ministry, noting that the rationalization process would continue in the sector. In the two takeaways, Obour, say today I have authorized a termination of a few more at Ghana Post, almost 100 that were done post-election. What you mean say total nipa amufa in akwana be 70. Obi anyone dey after December 7th. Minister say 100 were done after the elections. It was terminated omunyina.
Obi me Sam George, or honorable minister, he's also a young man. I mean, him said he has a lot of, and I pray, I've had the opportunity of meeting him before I resigned, and I know say he has a lot of plans for the whole space now. Communication space, no, and then Ghana Post as part. But especially with post office, said the Omo Yajuma no tier. I am very sure Senka unyamre kakra share recruitment because what can say no send an appointment letter bar after this fans an appointment because I think appointment letters no the chair pan about on the 9th of December. Okay. And he said the name send an appointment letter bar 9th of December nti ebia na dwene ye ne say after election na ni dimrika say election no na Saturday, 8th Sunday. When I interview Sunday, no 9th Monday, 9th no almost a juma say. No medicals in November. The Ghana Post said the mom letter say ya me famu enti mo koye medicals. Ama nipa na koye medicals. Enti so take mre kakra ehwemu a anko be hu say these are not recruitments no after yatwaba debi ena or call it for document na omo interview report wo ho or the interview dey kan here for omunyina everybody that was recruited because one yes I know we are ultimate recruitment or Ghana Post we interview panel union ni betna so bi HR ni betna so bi regional head back what na so and these are people in the system enti say ukoye recruitment now one go through this due process ntimi kwa nya successful and kenye minister put na be ba ka and ka dey we Ghana Post union na kwa ebebo hu de bebre but the due processes were followed through this recruitment. Now, Muhuni said, I told you about say onya abotre kaka na onhwe mu
onhwe document
because ohwe mu year minim said there you know I believe strongly say onya break kaka na ohwe mu I'm sure say he would adjust. Yeah, he would adjust and then
but in that meeting with him before he resign, you know, I want to believe say everything about Ghana Post under you were captured in your handing over report.
Oh, yes.
In that report, not in him how I'm recruiting some uncle for you now.
Oh, those are when they were recruiting. Those are handing over. You would hand over a BBA staff, you know, everything was in the report. I think in your first communique, say Abayano Pesomu Obia company ne fan after 7th of December. And we responded to that communique with Obia fan time Oba first interview. Time or onyane initial letter or call medicals any time you didn't car payroll time because said nipa no onye when my own to me pon for payroll enti yes I letter no call and I'm sure say sa document ne crampo unyamre ehwemu ye na o se be investigate ne kakra I'm sure say that position say obibia the appointment letter a bar after it died to Abano. I think irregular. Yes, say fast we will be doing a lot of the service. Can you imagine if so be a why Juma inside post office? Yes. Why Juma was a casual staff? Why Juma Wama Busumi Biano regional iron Wamana Bia 800 and 900 binom diamond. Was soon sa debia or the application you join regional head and now regional head a recommendation aba ama ye be recruitment there we dey your system no we so adwuma ne daga nya afie kra na me ba be che no IT me be che no EPS ne etimo fa na system ne this is okay na recruitment ye emu 40 e be ye casual staff omo system nim dada then due to be a special skill be a here in some areas into emu 30 ebe new recruits na fe sa nipa na work post office or any casual put dada no obeye no actual contract na be no staff no afide say I mean you not just say you no ye crack and these guys
I think a little bit of due diligence would have revealed
all these the information because say me opportunity be bama yebusa me ho asem I would have and I know say even see yebusa HR GMHR no what Ghana Post now because on also I company name for over 25 into him on no acquire recommendation nibi about people are almost what ni division staff for one division yeah once a recruitment the opportunity about na ye recruitment there me me casual way madam I believe strongly say chopper and ye be prime minister say yes no on hwem kakra because be we munyina Ghana for obi almost ebi ka ho pa na Ghana Post adwuma no afa no nto because post office adwuma no enye magic bi keke obi aye adwuma ene aye ena ye nipa staff no once anytime I mean opportunity I make a post office once I give a lot of credit to the staff because omwa no ekuom ho ena aboama vision na ye de bae no apeja adwuma no obi post office every be atwam na adwuma no e wo issues pa o me kai ye be so mu fufuro say MPP aban be so mu in 2017 e ba no they were on a overdraft to pay salary so when you overdraft I won't mean to salary so me kra me take over December bosume so na January pay back now I am show but with a lot of effort and a lot of collaboration with the union with the management and constant hard work company gradually is becoming a turnaround story the growth over the period has been more than 500%. Say first na post office busume aketua and as a busume their monthly revenue say na 5 million and then they do 25 million. Really? It is a massive growth. Example
these are real figures.
These are examples but very close to real figures. Say I mean you take it time see a bit so a lot of work has gone, a lot of commitment has gone into the system. Yet me Drew baby. Sir action way will create a lot of mistrust, a lot of disaffection, demotivation in the system. Because we are unia when you na na we jumobi or your casual or no na obi a no ye be fan as full staff na na juma na opportunity aba afi nene ono wa ba be ye permanent staff. Afi dey say I mean, I think say a chopper, and I wish to make a very, very passionate appeal to the Minister of Communication and Innovation, and also a passionate appeal to the President of the land. I believe strongly, say, the NDC campaign on jobs, and this is an opportunity, and the post office is not burdened by these employees. I mean, I've sat in the office as managing director. We are okay. We are okay. And we based on our dream, our normal Jumanankasa Eda Autopilot Omo they are running. And unless of course new vision, but it's too early. Time frame now because what am I new managing director your final meetings any 2 weeks clear and your final handing over meetings and there can be nothing that any so when nipa 100 what it means is any nipa you recruit and it's actually listen no
but what you are saying that because yes,
you would say a new 100,
70.
Pepe.
It is a way 100. I mean, it's
that means I don't know where his information. What I said, it is you know, as a managing director, 3 years. You know, we drove the ship, we picked the company from where it was, which was difficult to a certain stage. You know. I think
staff strength saying total staff here is here.
Post office current total staff off my head a 1,600.
1,600.
And when I took office, it wasn't any different. It's not like post office the Juma and say every year, the year I took office in 2022,
yes,
a total of 62 people were retiring.
Okay.
But me sika semunye enti me am 62. There be I think say fabe 38.
Okay.
And the shame
that's
2022 too no. But 2023 ba fe yehu so okay adwuma we uhia nipa mi ma example ye ni Fidelity for partnership be friend agency banking.
Okay.
Na agency banking no bank bia no uhia nipa mienu and now what me based on our banking rules because I also be obi closely but you do hire one man post office and Fidelity intimini yenye say adwuma no ewo ho but partnership no so your partnership e bebre sika and you decide so can you nipa baako keka safo no say the be ye betimi aye bank and to say yes this initiative based on your project near planner is because ade ebe me yenya revenue and I said the would the say money per juma moka adwuma no inyamfa so and I think the post office is on that path and I media me fan say information no and minister because I know say minister nya all these facts and the full picture. I don't think say anti yes no we dey me say me free me obi beka say ka we dey ka Obour ka we kirasem obi beka say we dey ka me kirasem say be say me asom wi am ko but chopper and am dey man na on sanhwe ni
you were MD for 3 years.
Yes, I took office 4th of January 2022.
Okay.
And
in 5 minutes I make Shamfoni Ghana for the state awuja Ghana Post ewo mu a obeka in 5 minutes.
Okay, Obi me that say. Obi, I think say Ghana Post, Mija Ghana Post, what tibia na wedding. I left a healthy organization. Me time no a car na post office day me take you over. Na ye fe be legacy debt. It be pensioners sika na company no betua e be fe be awards long service award na ye ntua be for 25 years. Me within the 3 years ye tua long service awards nyina ma say why you adwuma for even more than 5 years or long service award ye dey ma ye tua ni ye tua arrears no any current na. Na promotions nipa yenye promotions ma omo wa adwuma nim no na omo nye promotions ema nipa obi ho wa adwuma nim 15 years na Ghana Post system no na nka wo ye 5 years bia na ye promote but this is a case that nipa obi ho wa adwuma 18 years ni promote ni na motivation no wa form enti 2023 me ho ye promote obi a wa twam 15 years plus. Last year, you promoted Obia with 10 years plus and 5 years, and then we made plans. Said this year, Senkayawa Obia with 5 years no, you be promoting and these promotions said be a promoter. I was salary no, Kakrabi na beka ho, but a motivated staff base no. Until we left the company, that the staff were very happy, you know, almost film per staff bus. But yeah, we na staff bus no. Obeya akra for kwa na bi on benya ho benefit. Together with my management, we discussed with board, and then we introduce a transport allowance. I know the staff bia ebenya bus asem. This is a new addition I dey kan here. Now the staff are benefiting from transport allowance. Staff bus bia the organization. The workers were happy. I mean, I have Ghana Post workers on to me catch them so MD first no na ye pay ye Ghana Post no ye gusu pe baby akopeg ma but say no ye better na here. The staff attrition rate has reduced drastically. I mean usha sebi adwuma na ye no akatua no na enya kra. But 3 years continuously, no. Every year, Ghana Post staff bia no, you pay more than 25%. Oh, really? And these increments are twice continuously for the last 3 years. No, I must say, post office pay no, I nika, and it is now competitive. And Obi say, okay, say, how I'm leaving the company. I mean, vehicle situation. I mean, buses. Yeah, they can't home fleet. We added a total of about 22 new vehicles to almost fleet. Obour motorcycles. We've added close to 100 motorcycles to the fleet that was existing. Even with that, still no. A bit that's what so but I think strongly say MPP are buying time. Yeah. Post office no. We've left a post office that is at its highest level. It just needs good continuity and then good scale just for the organization to grow.
What would be that one innovative idea we implement it as MDR? I'm a result our sitting back, you say, okay, Charlie, this is it. That idea the better.
I think say strengthening the operations of the company. And no, the kind of one I am because strengthening operations of company now, then launching our parcel product. Okay. First, no post office problem pie. O send there a check.
I found independence.
And na ama company no need customers need trust for company. Enti ye de ahoden dodo na abegina edin ye be ya o send dia e wo say timi dru say kwa brochira 5 days 5 days to 7 days e wo say timi dru say de be ya ye betimi ne ye competitors omo ye foreign export ne pass ye timi ne o ma ye competitive. Enti it began from any theft okay enti you make sure say CCTV say what baby your mail room your transshipment you make sure say time be a CCTV ni security now for your airlines say no mo adwuma no let's negotiate well with them said they be airlines no omo betimi ama your priority said they be your mail kwa and you say friend can first ultimate the mail call 1 week na airline and fire because only omo credit system be omo je cash say yetimi pager company do stage yetimi tia airline no as with their carrying as a pay as you go and that initiatives no a pager ama initiative no man cause and afi your parcel service product na your launch you know Ghana for atiase because we say one major initiative you call Apro, any UK, omo door to door share US, omo door to door share, omo African markets, UK, omo African markets with US. And then we created the product. Says, I know mana, mo ton mo shops no. Ghana Post bet me the abremo. And it says, I ton, I can't take obi ni ade wo shop wo UK. Besana
my assunti
na no obi enye ho hye ene emre obi. And that product in it alone has transformed our parcel business. No, it has grown massive. So numbers now. Say first now if we were doing a total of 40 tons, and then we are doing 120 tons. Really? There's been massive growth. Me would say pejano koso here and said post office will
until so we be call na enuane ne ade mo deliver man ko na eni ho na de mo de kwa brochire na
ewo ho but now because of inefficiencies intino obi o ba enye gidie no ko obi o ho a send na aduane a enu kra na say because intimi nko on time until you end up paying compensations until obi o ha intimi tua me buy beginning first year you tua compensations and you are not even motivated to run that business because postal structure no only akro no ma osio me de beko in 1 week amount 1 month na enuru ye na ne neoma ne say a e wo se wutua e ka oboy no e ma na lawyer for try judge just a court sems anti you needed to strengthen the operations and the operations no be okay no afi na adwuma no fan to my prefer na
be one major source of revenue edema
a very very major source of revenue as we speak it is still a bit more than 50% of revenue. Ghana Post revenue parcel business parcel ni EMS business no because an area a foreign currency and the competition what the rate no to DHL, FedEx, other people. Ghana Post is very, very affordable because no say enya dey me pen fast when na be gumi bottom me abaya djuma ye dey aboa o man no enti ema djuma no etimi so come.
That's nice. And I mean looking back, if by way of a divine providence Sebase Ochenebi you are offered Ghana Post again, is it a place you love to go and work? From what you started, there may be other
send the pebia no prequel. Say my post office kaka me say my nyom to form my 21 masa my best music and also my year kakra my be Ghana Post me wo gide say nyame wa adwuma foforo so I think say me come anim and I believe strongly say and sana me peno but of course onyame na toto ya kwan de nyame be man na obey but I think say and I'm happy my new MD I will take you over and so very very astute very very qualified lady who said I wish her very very well and my hopes are that she would excel. Is my strong belief.
Wow. And is see what's the future like for Bias or for
Obi so be at your position they say
himself. You still
a
politician.
Meti Asante himself. And me krom na say me guso amesom. Say medikai amagana for ne me chrome for nyina hu say me wo pepa say me som Asante Achim in the capacity of MP me go so ameso
that dream is still on
me nya dia medum no it I believe strongly say sabre no say nyame pena sabre no ba and of course nti no wo manim you know me go so me hwenyame anim na me so me go so ye adwumaden
I know friends MPs are Omar regretting getting to Parliament. Some things actually, it's a drain on their resources.
It's true.
A drain on
everything.
We say you leave Parliament poorer than you enter.
Especially say who call Parliament with the mind say
yes.
Parliament nye. It's not from all me. I'm now for at least I've been on this journey for the last 8 years. And to me, will be more try, you know, and say ASK and I will pedia. Of course, that is not your destination. But
now, what's the driving way for you?
Oh, say Obiane. Adia and money some of us yes I mean and I've served all my life and I feel say an opportunity to serve my community adding to the community in itself is very it's a big deal for me. Maybe some 4 years or say 8 years then we look at what next but I wish that Sasum no ebeka enoma sedache me ka enoma me bury ase ntimi be me kan no so beka ho because
member of parliament
Asante Achim Sata osum ye so
said it was me as MD of Ghana and a president of music
yeah guso ayeso guso ayeso
bias or for it is still who follow music activities.
Oh, I do many guso din kita opa you know and then aging musician welfare fund they say I support it you know anytime more activity be no and then I talk to the current president Besamini no din come all the time. Of course music has had its fair share of challenges. I mean there's been legal tussle ama organization no ent me and
it's not being the music we used to know.
It's true. It's true.
Is it saying magic one be another one out of three? Because really, music used to be in the news a lot. Obour, one fund after the other, and one event after the other. Obour will be speaking on Ghana Music Award stage. I mean, music is almost non-existent now.
Obi, I think, sir. Obiane, that's why we choose leaders. Leader Biane Adoma Nyamediamano na tuhacha oditu ne sedo ye nema. Musical organization no enye organization wo sika bi. So enti so be a lead organization na they are only trying their best. They are only trying their best. Now depending on Nipano because me say me can't music sometimes I tell a lot of people say my time at music was a service because I was way richer before I went into music. Yes, I actually say when I left music I came in a auditor the year meeting na music at the organization owed me about 87,000 yes because but of course during my time also there were opportunities Ejuma proposal they come out buying support my it put the organization out there. Current leadership they are doing their best. I mean Simons Kasa but of course at DBN immediately you don't have a united front. It's difficult. Trump proposal companies on sponsor now another group be Kasemamo sponsor or and that does not inspire any growth. I advise musicians say, who say Doctors Association almost radio so na what is a lawyers association then musicians creative arts way and those are enormous amakuno entimi direction. Said they will say and
it also because because when you talk music, names of musicians about invariably young Kokrafo.
Is because of how I was treated. I know musicians during my time they were very active in music. They saw, somebody like Richie Mensah, somebody like Ochame Kwame. These are, when we created the Future Project, and then the Kofa Kwame Eugene Kidi, Money Adie buy. But how much Obour was working, and still they hear the things people say about Obour. Now, inspiration Kwame say he kept saying they say on the MSG president no we can kick an and he doesn't have the patience that I have. And all that I think say with time you be say okay as time plays I be nipa time kaka nipa de supporting you nyina tue hu say you be supporting the person with the self me buy post office so from na staff ni bi who had confidence to talk to me, beginning Majuma films, I'm the Obour for no, near Bufu Fupa. So be our call music. I cried dead and to free a dinner temps and no, dinner bread Ghana pools. But me here, Juman, now say now we are Juman and I to no man, good say, and then you get all this coming up from different corteses, and I think say yes, creative art space, I was here, I said, a Beman Nipamre, was structure and Hokaka, no, I Juman, I think say, yes, I with time.
President of music, what do you feel saying?
I was 28.
You don't mean it?
Yeah, I was 28 when I was president of Musica.
28. So then maybe when a young musician becomes president, because then
he also is able to appeal to the people. Yes, they can relate.
But I'm imagining say Shatta a member, Stoneboy a member, Sarkodie a member, Sami, and they are all not members of Musica.
During my time, Shatta was a member. Because you music you must run it with a strategy, because I was say and they were following. It I remember clearly Ghana Music Awards. We had negotiations on music stake in Ghana Music Awards. Because I meeting say Samini wo Togo cry was me am na me de enti me committee na o na me no ye meeting no hwe team a oni omo ye meeting na who say emu edu enti you need to speak well enti ni nyina kan and I me kai ye call pay ye throw proposal kwa aban ho say ye pay support for the creative arts industry na aban beginning no but or team no na fe ye church no then the follow ups the and yet who say team na ni abrese until they gave you the chance to grow.
Because you see, I only know Besa. Minimum be your executive bio.
Besa is the current president.
The president, yeah.
Bosco is still the administrator. Chiziwela is the national organizer. Reverend Yosin. Oh no, but yeah, Jumano. Yeah, Jumano. Omo yeguso. Ebe take shape.
Maybe say Shatawale be president of music and your band crowd. Satawale as president. Now Sarkodie organizing secretary for music. That would be an interesting one. But what does say? I think it's been helpful. Say what to me about the and the appeal. I would to let's hope say the minister and by extension the president better. If it's the decision is reversible, or more reversible.
Yes, because it is just going to.
It dampen spirits.
It would dampen spirits. It would also create a precedence. Because the post office, they have a way of, because I'm buying more music. Where structure the year. Until I feel I had to say I'm buying AU media and considering all the it's a ministry, and I bet my directive.
Yes.
But even structure na post office structure now would be difficult because HI one now interview me. Instead of one interview me, one me letter as far back as November and I say October. Say menko na menko medicals. Mako boka akoye medicals in ba. What my letter say menye adwuma. Ma share adwuma say 9th December ma share adwuma say.
Minister.
We piameka. 1 we piameka December, January, February. Obi ana me tikuma say me two ma be high dan e won kan. Na me titakwa de me two ma be high dan wo wa me kwa adwuma ma Ghana house you 2 advance 2 years 2 years. We be 2 years advance. Wasisa the whole structure of life because ordinary ne ma ba be school ama ne ba because 4 months assembly e kan o afa yesi and am say abaya sentino you ready. I think say
I get you. Obour medase. I mean show all the best.
Miss Medase. Obi.
Obour we brutal. We brutal. Let's go see saying